Oh dear, it looks like we may have a nerf on the way for one of Wasp's great abilities. We get some more info on Cyber Weekend and more variant 4 details are revealed. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news for Wednesday the 27th of November 2019. Also, I'd like to say thank you very much for all those lovely words of saying we're a very cute couple, and as well the one person that said we were like Sheldon Cooper and Amy Fowler presents Fun with Flags on this video. Link is in the description. Thanks for those comments, by the way. It did give me a hearty giggle. In any case, let's get into the news. The news today kicks off with, as you know, this that reached our inboxes a couple of days ago. They basically said, hey, look out, because we're going to do a Cyber Weekend. What does that really mean? No one really knew. So we've had a few bits of kind of further clarity on this, which Kabam Mike will let you know now. Basically saying that this year it's going to be about a weekend-based sale, as opposed to it just being about one day. It's going to be something that is going to be throughout the weekend, which is good, but I'm hoping that there's not too many kind of overhypeness to this and it fails to deliver. Also, for those interested, there are rarity based on title types of sales going on, and I would probably say that it's difficult to get an idea if you go through the weekend and kind of switch to the different titles. Say you're uncollected and you go to Cavalier, you're Conqueror, you go to uncollected. There's no clarification to say that will be a thing, but if I remember rightly last year, if you did switch during the weekend, or it was the day, and also gives the advantage over the 4 days if you are looking to kind of push to become Cavalier or uncollected, you'll probably get access to these better types of bundles and deals and like financial losing of your money type thing called buying, if you choose to. And now on to teasing us for the purpose of, well, I don't know what the purpose of teasing us is. Juggernaut, a champion that we'd all like to see some sort of huge buff to, an amazing character, and as well, when you're looking at the, and when I say character, I mean Marvel character, not champion as in Marvel Contest of Champions. Let's get that for bloody certain. The fact is, when I was a kid, I used to watch, I think it was Spider-Man, and I think Juggernaut made an appearance from time to time in there. Maybe it was X-Men. One of the two. The fact is I saw Juggernaut obviously just completely demolishing everything in his path and was being a complete powerhouse. Now, will he be getting a buff? Anything is possible. No, it won't happen. Why put that? Unless they know that we don't know, and what they know is that they're actually going to buff him next year. Probably not though. Next up, we've got Brutal DLX showcasing some big booty bitches. I mean, big yellow numbers. Look at that. Big yellow number. And then boom! Big yellow number indeed from Mr. Brutal DLX, showcasing Sunspot and his complete maximum amount of damage. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Like, completely amazing. I love to see these kind of like, these cool videos from time to time with people putting huge numbers. Take that, game! Now to talk to everyone seriously for a moment. Okay, so we've got the changelog that's just been put out with loads of bug fixes and improvements. And I think that's where we're going to have to like look at a load of here, because there's a few that just really benefit players, but also there's one or two that don't. So the ones that are quite good are Aegon's. There was a bit of kind of confusion, which we'll talk about in a moment, about the way that everything was worded for Aegon, as we can see up here. So fixed combo shield, which everyone wanted, but the fact is the synergy's been sorted out, the combo breaker synergy, but the true buff was a bit of a difficult one to get heads around with that one, and did cause some element of confusion. Let's kind of deep dive that now. So Kabam Mike said on the forums that they caused confusion. Right now it reads that Aegon's fixed combo shield is to be a true buff, which can now be interacted with, but it should have said Aegon's fixed the combo shield from heavy charge to work properly when stolen. His combo shield has always been a buff, both for the ones received from the combo meter and the charging a heavy, but under the hood it was acting in a way that didn't work properly when stolen, such as Loki. We've now fixed that, so all in all, where there should be no visible noticeable change to note unless you're fighting using Loki. Also, to touch on the confusion caused by passive abilities do not necessarily mean that the result are passive effects, just that this is always active ability. The combo shield is a buff generated by passive ability. Also, looks like we've got a fix for Corvus Glaive, just the info page updated, which is to do with Iceman's frostbite and passives. When Corvus immunity is active, info page also updated to match gameplay potency of the damage inflicted on himself when purifying cold snap, bleed and shock. So yeah, fantastic. Elsa Bloodstone gets something sorted out with her, but I do think Elsa's a little bit of a forgettable champion. The same with Arcus this year. I'm sure people still use them, I just think they're very forgettable, and especially the scores in the arenas do kind of back that thought process up. Then you've got Emma Frost will no longer fail to land the attack in her combo, which I think of a lot of players that use her from an offensive point of view. That needs to be sorted out. And we've got loads more. Domino's being looked into a little bit. Ghost in particular, I think for Ghost players this is very important. Heavy attacks should no longer fail to land under certain conditions. Very important, because I know people were experiencing a few issues with that. Guillotine 2099. Now the regen is scaling based on base HP. This is important and really kind of messed up a lot of people last month. So it's good that that got looked into. But will no longer receive combo shield with dexterity, evading and attack. Kind of annoying for those that want to use him. I know that Metal Sonic Dude was talking about this on Twitter. So yeah, it's a bit annoying for some players for that. But in any case, there's not really much to kind of mention. The Hyperion one is very important as well. Fix an issue where attempting to chain heavy attacks with Hyperion would cause a delay with the starting subsequent heavy attacks. So that's something that I think is very important for the people that like to do those chaining. But I think that the Mephisto fix, or the increased aura distance to match Omega Reds, that is that's kind of important. It kind of makes Mephisto interesting to some people on an offensive level, and maybe with a synergy improvement next year, could really see to put into people's rosters for the point of taking down content. But now let's get to the most important things. There's a few issues with that have been sorted out with quest modifiers, honor, constant notifications of rewards claim. That's bottom right hand corner at the moment. Is very annoying. But also the Wasp fix. Now this is the crucial one I wanted to get to, because I know this is what is most important, and that's fixed an issue where Wasp was incorrectly able to stun a defender on a stun immune node. Wasp has been one of those champions that's had a little bit of a look into based on like a few issues people have experienced, and it's not always been just about that stun type aspect, that kind of passive stun, but it looks like that now Kabam have made the decision to fully Archangel her. And if you're not familiar with that analogy, that is based on something that happened a while ago, where Archangel was able to stun immune champions, able to put in some sort of stun off the back of his neurotoxins. But when this champion is concerned, this is something that's annoying because it's passive stun and the way that interacts with stun immunity. Now, this champion's been in for a little while now, so kind of not figuring out that this was a thing and kind of deciding, okay, we need to change this, is kind of taking the edge off of this champion for a lot of people's likes and dislikes. Obviously, as I said, it's the Archangel situation all over again, and I just think it comes to a point where us as players, us as YouTubers, and whatever we are, when we're looking at strategy and trying to get the upper hand, sometimes, like, you know, how long do you have to wait before that strategy is then completely gone? If people go, oh yeah, if you use Petrify against Dr. Doom, oh yeah, well, not all Petrify from all champions that do Petrify work against Dr. Doom for his Aura of Hazareth. So it's like, it is kind of annoying to kind of find these little strategy improvements, or what I think Kabam would see us as saying exploits, and then it's just like all taken away. But look, I get it. They got to try and do what they got to do, but at the same time, we've got to do what we've got to do in order to get through difficult content in the easiest way possible. In any case, how do you feel about this situation? Put it down in the comment section down below. Next up, and as you know, next month we're celebrating 5 years of the game. There's still no mention at the point of recording this video, gifting and gifting event, and the purpose of like that event, which we've had for years. This would be like the first year, if it is the case, without the gifting event. And I really hope that it is indeed put in. But let's try and focus on other stuff until we get the word on this, and that is Variant 4. Lots of information has been already leaked so far on it, but there are kind of a few things we still need to know, like nodes, champions, but there is something that Kabam Mike has given us, some info that's going to be helpful for Variant 4. First of all, in responding whether or not the 1 stars and 2 stars will be a viable thing, and also at the same time, like, what's the need for them, Kabam Mike says there will be a requirement for those that are no longer getting 1-star champions. There will be ways to obtain them in the future, and also remember, and that is permanent content, so you'll have lots of time to rebuild a 1- and 2-star roster. No one cares about it being permanent content. They want to get it done as soon as it comes out. You know what this game's like. The man might goes further on to say that different quests will require different rarities. You'll only be able to use 1 stars on a quest and only 2 stars on another. Don't worry, there's no quest that only lets you use 6 stars. Also, in answer to the question like whether or not you kind of feel that this is based on everybody being able to do a variant, his response was, I don't want to get hopes too high for less experienced summoners. Variant quests are still meant to be higher difficulty content for more experienced summoners. And now on to arena predictions. All my predictions are down below. At the moment, we have got 3 different types of arenas of rarity, and that's the featured with Mr. Fantastic. We've got Cull Obsidian and Doctor Strange with the 2 basics. And the reason that Cull Obsidian is in is because of the rerun of the 8th of November scuff. So what you've got with Cull Obsidian, I'm going with 3 mil. I think that's a bit more than normal, but at the same time, it's all about getting and securing the bag and securing that champion. I think is 3 mil. It's got to be there, 3.1 if you want to push it even more. But I think that it's going to go 2.8 to 2.9, but 3 mil, let's be safe. Doctor Strange, 1.9 mil. I think that's fair enough. It's not a popular champion. It's a champion that got nerfed back in the 12.0 days. So yeah, like, it's an old school champion. It's a good champion, but it's not really a game-breaking champion anymore. Obviously, it was good to see it by Invincible being used this year with the Summoner Showdown. But the fact is, yeah, I don't think people are going to go for this too much. Mr. Fantastic, I think it's a 5-star. You know, it's going to go anything in the close to about 60, 65 mil. And that's based on the fact of synergies. And also the champion's quite good with the damage output and the fight-to-fight abilities, which I just think that is going to put it towards there. Because first of all, I was thinking this could go 55 mil. But look, let's face it, people may want to push to that 65 placement for a featured 5-star. And with a 4-star version, I'm thinking that that's going to go for 11 mil. I think that's fair, especially based on the other ways that other champions have gone recently. But look towards that kind of dropping a little bit. 3-star version of Mr. Fantastic, I'm going to go with 1.5 mil. It's just down the middle. Same thing with any new featured champion. And it's good enough. So yeah, that has been my predictions. And that has been Marvel Contest of Champions News for the 27th of November 2019. Check out some other content here and here. Also, do bear in mind there's probably going to be some announcements later on. So you may see another video from me a bit later on tonight. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, what gets announced for next week. Whether or not it's Variant 4 stuff, whether or not it's other things. We just don't know. But thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.